Hey, what's going on, everybody? This is Anvil Vault Breakers. This is a game I saw pop up on Game Pass, and it looked interesting. I kind of held off on doing it for a little while, and then I've decided to bite the bullet, and I really just I want to try it out. And I want to give you guys my first impressions, what I think about the game, and just kind of be brutally honest during the whole process. Alright, so whatever the basic premise is for this game, you're controlling this thing. Think about it like Warframe. You got these like suits of armor that have different abilities and different weapons, and then you kind of just go into this roguelite style where like you fight and you get money to buy upgrades, and then if you die you just come back and then you buy more upgrades and then go back in, and you just kind of continuously try to get further and further and further. You know what I mean? Like it's a typical kind of roguelite thing, but it's got some like bullet hell style mechanics, and as I said, it kind of is like Warframe, that each suit has like a name and its own specific abilities, and it's just weird. The game, I feel like, is trying to do a lot of things, but whether it's doing them good or not, I'm not sure. And yet again, this game is early access, so everything is subject to change. But from my time spent with it, it left me confused. So yes, I said confused. And the reason I said confused is because I don't know who the target audience is for this game. As I said, it's kind of like a roguelite, but it's like a stick shooter with RPG elements, and the game doesn't give you a lot of heads up in what's going on. It just kind of throws you into it, and you're left to kind of figure it out. I don't I'm not a huge fan of that. I like having a little bit of context to what I'm doing. I like having a little bit of understanding, and to have a little bit of like a tutorial would have went a massively long way for this game. That might just be me though. I don't play a lot of roguelike games, and you know, I know that's kind of the thing about those that style of games. You just kind of get in there and you have to figure it out. But for this, it was confusing and off-putting. I found it very off-putting. So aside of all the confusing and kind of weird aspects of this game, how does it handle? How do the characters feel? Well, I played with two of the characters. I played as Jungler and Guillotine, two of the starting characters. One is kind of more of a long-range, generic shooter guy, and the other one runs around in melee with a big axe. Both of them were fun. At first, I didn't think Guillotine was going to be useful at all, because a lot of the enemies are ranged enemies, but he has no problem getting in there and causing damage. So that was cool. That was fun. And it just, I mean, there's variety. You know, it's not particularly difficult to unlock the other breakers, so that's fun. As for the gameplay loop confuses me, because of course you're supposed to basically beat your head against the wall to get as far as you can, get resources, level your character up, and just continue doing the same like 4 levels over and over and over again. And yes, there's randomness to the levels. You're going to get slight variations, but in my time there was very little variation, and it felt like I was doing the same level. It felt like I was just repeatedly playing the same level over and over and over again. There wasn't enough random variation to make it feel refreshing for me to go back in and want to continue playing. After a few runs, I found myself done. Like, I didn't want to play anymore, because to me there was no sense of accomplishment. I felt no accomplishment. My character was barely any stronger, where a true leveling system would have allowed me to feel like I made progress and made my character stronger, and that's not the case. It just kind of felt like everything I did was basically for nothing. So the core gameplay loop is going to see you have to sink dozens of hours to really feel like you're making it somewhere. To me, I just didn't feel like I was making progress. And I played this for probably 5 or 6 hours. I don't feel like I made it anywhere. I don't feel like I made nearly as much progress as I would have liked. But I was also goofing around with every single system as much as I could so that I could give you guys this video with all of my accurate thoughts. So the overall game premise and the core gameplay loop, to me, is very unappealing. I don't see myself ever returning to this game. I might, if there's some substantial updates. I'll probably keep an eye on it in the background. But I don't see myself really returning to this game. I just think that at its core, it has no soul. Like, it's trying to do too many things at one time and doesn't want to commit to any one sort of identity. And to me, that really shows. It feels empty, it feels hollow. It feels like there's not a lot going on, but there's a lot going on. You know what I mean? It's like there's a lot of systems in place that feel like they're in place to be in place versus having meaningful purpose. So it just, if you have Xbox Game Pass, you can download this game for free. It could be a good time sink for a few hours, or you might love it. I'm not sure. To me, in its current state and with what's going on, this game is a hard pass for me. Like a 10 out of 10 hard pass. It was fun goofing around for like the first hour, and then when I discovered the gameplay loop, I was immediately deterred. I did not want to really load the game back up. That's why after I said my first play session, I don't find myself wanting to return to this game. And then just to round things out, I want to talk about its performance. It ran well. It loaded quickly. I didn't have any troubles with the controls. And the graphics looked fine. There's no performance issues. I am running this on an Xbox Series X. It handled well for what it is. You know, it's a simple game with simple things going on. And to be very fair, it should run well. Doing what it does, there should be no lagging, there should be no hiccuping, there should be no popping textures. So I give the devs credit for this game preview running nicely, because some game previews I've played have not run so nicely. So I will give them some props on that one, that the game is stable. I don't know how it is in previous generation consoles or anything like that, but I know that the game for me ran flawlessly. So for my final summary, this is not the best game I've played. It's not the worst game I've played in the year 2021. Do I feel like I wasted my time? No. I got a couple hours of some decent fun. I won't be going back to play it again. But it's not a bad game, nor is it a good game. I feel like it's okay. It just needs to find its identity. It needs to figure out what it wants to do and kind of move in that direction. And of course, oftentimes when you play game preview games, you are going to find a lot of this stuff, because the developers often have a framework for what they want to do, but how they get there and how they fill it in sometimes is always subject to change. In this game, in next week, it could have a crazy huge update and change everything. That is one of the joys of game preview. Anyways, everybody, if you want to try it out for yourself, it is on Xbox Game Pass right now, so you can download it yourself. Give it a shot. It's only about 10 gigs, so why not? If you guys like this video, leave a like. If you didn't, leave a dislike. Comment, subscribe if you're not already subscribed. And as always, I hope you have a wonderful day, and I hope to catch you in the next video.